Hi and good afternoon. Excuse me, and welcome to Thfc Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and after last night, a quite disappointing and sad day. But look, we move on. We've got Burnley the weekend. Well, we don't like going out of cups, do we? We really don't. And look, it's a game last night we should have won. It's a game we went there in confident mood, unbeaten in the Premier League, and really we should have won that last night. But for whatever reason, we didn't turn up. The players that Ange sent out who made 9 changes. And look, my thoughts on that I'll give in a minute. But look, if that was a league game and we drew 1-1, we'd be all saying, "Oh, we're lucky to get away with a point." In the old days, 1-1 would have been a good result. Take it back to the second leg back at home, and we probably would have beaten Fulham. But we only have 90 minutes plus penalties to win these games, and again we keep not we keep shooting ourselves in the foot when it comes to these competitions. It's a competition we've been quite successful in. It's a competition where the last time we beat Fulham, we went away and we won the competition over 2 decades ago. So look, very disappointed. We've got to wait to January now um, for another go at another trophy, which is the FA Cup, which I think we could win. Actually, I think we can win it. But all this I've seen with Ange out and Ange this and Ange that, it's a load of cobblers. Them players need to take proper blame for what happened last night. They're the ones who went out on the pitch. And and they're the ones that should do it. But let's see who's in the chat, and then we'll get on with the show. We've got Neil Shafton. It says, "Hello, T. Minus 2 days until the end of the transfer window." I know it is getting there. Friday, and of course, we're on from 8 o'clock to the close of the window at 11 o'clock. We're probably going to about half 11. Just to get everyone's thoughts about the window. We've got Lee Richards with lots of skills of our famous past cup exploits in that intro, which I'm afraid to puts last night's debacle into perspective. Just saying, no, there is. I was thinking the same thing, Lee, myself. We've got Carl Simpson, big up Carl. This is good afternoon, Dermot, and all in the chat. Big up Carl. We've got Terry White, big up Dermot. We've got James Joris as well, big up Dermot and chat. We've got Greg Selnick. Good afternoon, Dermatron. And chat, shame about yesterday, but we move on. Did better than Arsenal did. They didn't make 9 changes. Yeah, that's very true. We've got Kev Williams. Good afternoon, Dermo. Wow, that was really hard to swallow last night, mate. 9 changes. I can't accept that. Yeah, there's a few fans can't, but look, I'm sort of trying to see it from a different perspective. But we have look, hear what I have to say, and if you agree with me, do. If you don't, put what you think in the chat. We've got Peter M, big up Dermot, and everyone in the chat. Liam Harty should have started our stronger side, then make the changes once we go a couple of goes up, in my opinion. Yeah, there is that actually. T minus 2 days, and if the trial of yesterday for the reserves didn't convince Ange, who does not belong, they aren't moved on. Well, we have issues. I don't blame Ange for reinforcing what we already know. Exactly. I don't blame him either. Bad decision to make so many changes, but we move on, learn from it. Yeah, exactly. We've got Adrian Soccer. Good afternoon, or good afternoon, Angel. And good Lee Richard said, Ange got his selection wrong, Dermot. Soon as I saw the lineup, my heart sank. Also showed we need to bring in more players in before the window closes. Ange can only rely on players he has played in league games. Well, look, let me just change that if I can. Let's see now. That's better. We'll use that one. Yeah, I'm going to start here with the changes. Look, he shouldn't have made so many changes. I seem to come round to that idea that he shouldn't have done. But what he said in his press conference afterwards, which he actually does make a good point as well. I mean, he was asked about defending team selection. He says, "How am I going to find out my players? We need to give the players the opportunity to compete." Now, we would have Europe for that, the early stages of Europe. And these players are international players. They should be able to come in and do a job for the manager. But these are the same players that weren't good under Poch, Jose, Nuno, Conte, and now Ange. And it seems to be the same problem rearing its head up again. Keeps doing it. And look, for me, I just I can't accept Ange getting all the blame for last night. I think the players have to take a big majority of that blame for me last night. Look, if you're splitting it up to out of 100, I give 80% to the players, 20% to Ange. Ange does have to take responsibility for the he picks the team, and people are right to say, 9 was too many changes, and then hindsight it probably was. But for me, 80% has to be the players. They are the players that have played, that know how to win games. This is a cup competition, and some of them players last night weren't up for it. Now, Richarlison got his goal, brilliant. I'm glad he got one. Absolutely glad he got one. Did we play well enough to win? Probably not. No. But we had our chances. Højbjerg had a chance, which he should have tucked away. Dean Scarlett, who came on, who I thought played very well, actually, to be very, had a couple of chances and should have took his chances in, especially that one where the keeper saved it and it hit his knee and went out. The penalties for me, the goalkeeper, Foster, what the hell were you doing? I mean, he just kept kneeling down. And it was like, well, you can have either side of the goal, and I'm not going to dive for it. But there you go, Fulham. Take your pick. It's either going to be left or right, and I won't dive for it. And also the Sanchez thing coming up. Look, for what I've heard, their players did not want to take a penalty last night. At least Sanchez had the balls to take one. He had the bottle to go up there and take one. A lot of them players that are probably Solomon's one, he should have took one. And Dean Scarlett, I don't know, he should have took one. The all attacking players should have took. Højbjerg should have stepped up. He's supposed to be this big man and big character. And look, Højbjerg is one of Højbjerg's biggest fans. We all know that. But he should have stepped up last night. And it took a defender. And the fair play to Sanchez. Look, he didn't have the greatest of games. Again, his mistakes are coming up through the services again. But he had the guts. I know he missed, but at least he had the guts to step up and take one. But for me last night, I mean, Peter Ram says, but 9 is too many. Yeah, it is too many changes. But look, for me, I think once you're picked, you should be good enough to do that job for the manager. And for me, I think, look, they last night were absolutely dreadful. And again, it leaves a very bitter taste in your mouth because it's a competition we should have won. We really should have won that. We've got James Y Paratrooper. It's the skip was horrible. It's time to skip to move on. For Skip to move on, probably out on loan. I don't think we need to sell him, but put him out on loan. I think that would be the best thing for Skippy. We've got Greg that says the best solution to yesterday would have been somewhere in the middle, make a few changes, but definitely start Destiny and Basuma. I think Destiny was still recovering from a knock. He was doubtful for the game yesterday, as I said yesterday. So, look, I'd rather him rest him yesterday and then have him ready for Burnley on Saturday. Start Basuma, I would have done. I would have started either Papa Sarr or Basuma in that midfield and then bring them off. As somebody said in the chat, once you're 2 or 3 goals up. But it was just very disappointing. And fair play to the away fans last night. Absolutely fantastic support again from them away fans. And, I feel sorry for them. They didn't get the result they deserved. But look, I think Ange has learned something, and it's a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes as long as you learn by them. And I think Ange has learned by this one. We've got Neil Shafton. The emotional reactions of some of these supporters was a bit dramatic, blaming the manager for doing what he felt was needed. Well, that is the way he's getting paid. Well, that is way he's getting paid to do. Look, I heard last night I want Ange out and sacked. Apparently, there was some racial abuse to Sanchez, which is not acceptable on any way, shape, or form. Few people saying that Ange may, want Ange out, and it's and hashtag Ange out thing. And again, we're not blaming the people that should be blamed. Last night, I read Levy and Enix's fault, Ange's fault, but how about blaming the players? These are the same players that have been under managers since Pochettino and etc. Pochettino, Mourinho, Conte, Nuno. They're the same players. that have let us down again and again. And for me, last night it just proves the point. Ange can't trust these players. They need to go, and I think there will be. I think there will be some changes in the next couple of days before Friday's deadline. I can see, and I'm going to go through what I got this morning for you. But I think if it wasn't plain to see that these players cannot be trusted, then last night was, Ange got his answer last night. We've got Grahamstown there. He could have done it over 2 games. 4 changes against Fulham, 4 changes against Burnley. You already know Venom is number one. I would have kept Vicario on goal last night. I wouldn't have changed. I wouldn't put Foster in. I would have actually changed him for the penalties. I that's what I would have done. But look, we have to see what happens. We have to see what happens. We can't change it now. It's done. It's dusted. We're lost, and we move on. We move on to Burnley, and we move on to the FA Cup, which is our last chance of a trophy this season, which is going to be heartbreaking if we don't win anything this season. Peter M says, I accept Ange's explanation. Better to use the League Cup game than the league game to find out about the Finnish players in a game context. Yeah, I sort of accept it as well. No Europe, so we're only in 2 cups. Next game weekend, we should have gone strong and made 5 changes to see the win out. Okay, he wants to see who's good enough, but he has a file and video on each player. You can look at the video all you want, I think, but you also have to you won't see what a player's radar unless you've seen them live in the game. And I think he got his answer last night. Carl Simpson said, let's get the win against Burnley. 10 points put out of 12 to go into the national break. And that's the way we've got to look forward. We've got Burnley on Saturday. It's a game we if we win that, then it's 10 points. And I never dreamt we would have to start. We would have. Neil Shafton, there's a lot of supporters need to check themselves for the complete meltdowns and withdrawal they suffered from. 1 second they're all in, the second things start to go against they melt. And look, I think them fans are idiots. I'm sorry to say it, but you're coming out with stuff on social media saying it's Levy and Enix's fault. Well, yeah, they brought the manager in to do a job. Yeah, they should have got players out in past transfer wins. So yeah, which we can all hypotheticals are great. You can always say, "Oh, hypothetical, I should have done that, or should have done this." You can blame the manager. He shouldn't have made too many changes. Well, yeah. Well, what's he supposed to do? He's paid to do a job. He wants to see what his other players can do in a game situation, and they let him down. But nobody's blaming the players. Nobody's blaming them going out and giving 110%, playing for their club. You're playing. You're not just playing for yourselves. You're playing for the fans. You're playing for the fans who get up at 4:30 in the morning in Australia or the Far East or Canada or New Zealand. You're paying for the people that have paid the hard, good money to go to that game, that have given up their time to go and watch you play. They haven't got big cars or Ferraris or big houses to go back to. Some of them are struggling. So for an hour and a half every week or twice a week if it's a cup game, that is their enjoyment. All they want to see is you going out giving 100%. Look, I am overweight. I'm unfit. I've got a heart condition. My back's bad. But I guarantee if Ange said to me, would you go on that pitch and do a job? I would run there I'll probably keel over. Probably would be after 5 minutes, to be fair. But that 5 minutes for me, I would give my all. And players last night don't give their all. Again, Sanchez was caught dithering and doddering. But on the flip side of that, at least he had the balls to step up and take a penalty. Where were them players when it come to the penalties? Where are them penalty takers that have taken penalties for the country, have taken penalties in the past for us? Where were they to step up? Do you can't just blame the easiest people to blame. You blame the people that are doing the job. And it's like if I worked in construction, if I dug a foundation out and I didn't put a retaining, I dug one wall in and I get blamed from it. What am I going to blame the digger? Or am I going to blame the drawing? No, I blame myself because I didn't do the job properly to the full potential that I could do that job. And these players should be playing at full potential. It's a cup game. It's a chance of winning a trophy. As good as Fulham were last night, we should have won that. And again, it's players not switched on or players not given 100%. And again, we've been let down. And Ange made a mistake. Yeah, as I said, it's 80-20. 20% that is Ange's fault. But Ange is big enough and old enough to take responsibility of that. Some of these players need to look at themselves in the mirror this morning and say, did I give my all on that pitch last night? And I can guarantee you half of them said no. They leave something out there, which you should be coming off that pitch with nothing left. I mean, that's my opinion on it. And I just feel it's very unfair that when anything starts to go wrong, certain fans will jump on a bandwagon and blame certain people where they should be looking at it from outside the box and looking at it. Well, hang on a minute. When them players cross that white line, there's nothing the manager can do. It's down to them players to give it all for 90 minutes or 120 minutes. And it's down to a manager, if he doesn't see things working, to change it. Now, if he brings on the player and he doesn't do what that player wants him to do, then you get rid of that player. We all know we need a centre back. We all know we need a striker. We probably need a midfielder as well if we're going to sell Højbjerg. But I just feel Lo Celso last night, that was his time to show him why. That was his chance to show Ange, look, keep me. I will do a job for you. And he didn't. He took off 45 minutes. Sanchez had a couple of good games coming up to last night's game. Last night, turned inside out for the goal. Van der Ven, now, to be fair, was unlucky with that own goal. It clipped off the inside of his boot. He was very, very unlucky. But look, we just have to learn from this and move on. We've got Tequila saying, yeah, I can't accept players saying they don't want to take a pen. All players should train for pens for a possible shot, and they should do. But the rumor is those players last night didn't want to take responsibility of taking a penalty. And then you're left to a defender, which is not really his job, to be fair, having the balls to stand up and taking a penalty. He missed, but he had more balls than the rest of them put together to stand up and take that. And look, and fair play to Sanchez doing that, and I will give him credit for that. Tequila, people last night were saying Ange out. There was this one who doubts, who wouldn't shut up about it. Something 316. What a douche. Look, anyone that wants Ange out, I'm sorry. You're not a Tottenham fan. You're really not. Lee Rich is one upside for no midweek football now that it's probably helped us finish higher up in the league. Could be a repeat of 2006 under Martin Yole. We had no midweek football, and only a dodgy lasagna stopped us from making top four. I know that dodgy lasagna is gonna haunt us, I think, for the rest of our days. I think. Kev Williams, Forrester reminds me of a disinterested, half-hearted employee working his last day who's being paid the week before. Yeah, I do as well. Tequila says, I think Ange has learnt the gap between our first 11 and most of the dross we have after. Yeah, I think he has. I think he really does. And look, I sort of think he should have started with a strong team. But look, I back him. He decided to start with that 11, and you really got to back him. Liam Harty says we should have started with the spine. Yeah, that's probably right, actually. Tequila 316. Shame it cost us another cup for him to learn that lesson. And look, he kept saying that the cups were the priority. So he'd be more angry and more frustrated with what he saw last night than, I think, like us fans. It's some of them players last night that won't be feeling that upset or that frustrated. Oh, well, it's just another game we lost. Oh, well, just move on. It's not good enough. Foster may as well have got a deck chair out and got a beer. His penalty 7 was... Yeah, I watched it twice, Carl. I thought the first time I thought my PC was dodgy. And when I watched it the second time, I just thought to myself, has he been taking tips off Ivan Toney? Do you know? I bet against us losing our penalties. Hang on, I won't bother here. They were awful. He should have brought Vicario on for the penalties. He should have changed the goalkeeper in the last minute. It's been done before. We've seen Chelsea do it. We've seen other teams do it. Change your goalkeeper. Bring on your best goalkeeper. For me, Foster. He made a few good saves, though, mind you. But his penalty decisions were, I don't know what he was thinking. Neil Shafton, we are undefeated in the main focus of what matters the league. We all want to win, but the bigger picture is finishing in the leagues, but also getting rid of the squad dead weight. And that is, if you have to look at it, you have to look at the bigger picture. And I think Neil Shafton's spot on here. Look, we all want to win cups, we all want to win trophies. But this is always, Carl said to me earlier when I spoke to him, this is going to be a transition of a season where Poch had in his first season. And do you know when Poch lost the game, did they lost the game? Did everyone get on Poch's back? We want Poch out. No. And look what he done. So look, we need to give Conte time to get this right. We need to get the deadwood out. And once we get the deadwood out, get players in. We've started well this window. We need to continue on now. We don't know what's going to happen between now and Friday at 11 o'clock. We may get a few out and a few in. And then we move on then to January. But it gives Ange more time to work on the team, work on the players. And we just have to see what happens. But big up Neil Shafton. I do agree with that. We have to look at the bigger picture. Tequila, it's Levy's fault. It's Ange's fault. It's the players' fault. Yeah, probably. Okay, all three. What manner of supporter already turns against our new and rather good manager? I know. I am a bit. Either they were drunk, either they don't know much about football, or they're really just anti everything Tottenham. Seriously, I don't get it. Kev Williams, agree, Carl. We would have been better going the same way each time. We got Tequila, a douche, a madman. You're on a Peter. They were talking. Greg Selner, 100% agree, but depends. Sub for Vicaria. I would have done. Seriously, I would have done. Liam Harty, Vicario, Romero, VDV, Basuma, Maddis, Richarlison. I was so pleased Richarlison got his goal last night. It did know what I mean. Absolutely, I was so pleased and took his goal well. To be fair, really did. We've got Paul Brown. Good evening, Dermot. Hopefully, as well as usual, Coys, big up, Paul. Nice to see you. We've got Peter M. I would be annoyed if Ange approaches the FA Cup in the same way. That is a trophy to ignore. I don't think he will. I really don't think he will. I think he's learnt his lesson from this. And I really do believe that Ange will. He took the League Cup seriously. It was a players he thought could do a job for him, didn't do a job for him. And that's the problem, but I don't think he will. I think he'll take the FA Cup. I think we'll win the FA Cup this year. I've really just got the gut-wrenching feeling we will. Greg saying, disagree with Kev somewhat. Think he needed to see how the players adapt to his style and instructions rather than watch videos of them training or playing rubbish Conte ball. I think that was the thing, and I do agree with that. And I've said it before that he needed to see them in a real match, not on video, but in a pressure cooker of a game. And again, last night, some of them players didn't let us down. They really did. We've got Farhat. Do we all accept a practice match during training is too risky a way of determining player ability? I think they do that. I think Spurs do have player match. I don't think it's too risky. It used to be done years ago that there used to be like a practice match between Tottenham main team and the reserves. Or you used to get a behind closed doors friendly. So I think it's been done before, but I don't think that'd be a bad thing. Really wouldn't. Lee Ritchie said, even if we finish top 6 this season and don't do anything else, that will still be progress. But how do I now accept us to have a real go in the FA Cup? I think we will. I really do think we will. We've got FTSM Colin, big up Colin. After all, I hope everyone's well. I have some news about Full Time Sport Networks and THFC, which I will announce at the end of the show. So keep around for that. We've got a nice little bit of good news and something that will help us grow for the future. Just a bit of news here. Tottenham Hotspur proposed deal for 22-year-old attacker Brennan Johnson will go down to the wire, being decided on the final day of the transfer window. Spurs are unwilling to meet Forest's 50 million valuation for the Welshman and have offered players including defender Davinson Sanchez as part of the package. So we have to wait and see. Look, for me, hang on, ring. Look, for me, I think, get rid of Sanchez. Let's see what happens. The Keelan need to see them in a proper action, trying to play his system. Now he knows most of them are dross. Yeah, I think he knew that already, to be fair. But we have to see what happens. We've got Neil Shafton. They had their chance to save their spot, and those who don't have the skill or the desire to benefit the club. Conte did the same thing, and we're still waiting for Levy to take the hint. I think, Levy. I think Levy's learnt a lot. I think from the Conte debacle, and I really do. And look, he's half backed Ange. I think he's got to fully back him. But if we get another centre back and a striker in before the end of the window, and a midfielder, 3 more players in, get 4 out, 4 or 5 out, 3 in. I think that'd be great. I really do. We've got Mia, big up Mia. Hope you're doing well. We've got Tequila. Can you play centre back, Dermo? I can. Just waiting for Ange to give me a call, and I'd be straight there for Saturday. I reckon it was the kit that made them play badly. It's really ugly, and they probably couldn't see each other. Might as well use camouflage colours. Am I right to say Man United, Fergie got them to change their kit at half time down at Southampton back in the day? I don't know if somebody can let me know in the chat, but was it? I think it was. I think United lost. He blamed the kit or something. I think he blamed the kit Man United were wearing. Was it an all blue kit? I can't remember. Someone let me know in the chat. The keeler says centre back as well. Yeah, I can. Get me and Dave Harris over there. We'll do that for you. Kev Williams says we've all seen these players enough to know who's good enough. And just taken a hit to know what we already know, and could have told them we're just Joe Blogs. Yeah, I think so. Lee Riches, you make good points, Dermot. Levy always gets it in the neck when we flop in the cup. But Levy wasn't on the pitch last night. He didn't pick the team, and he wasn't on the pitch when we failed in some of the finals and semi-finals. And look, a chairman's job is to back the manager. That's his job, to give him the money to back the players, to get the players in. It's the manager's job then to train the managers into his philosophy, into the way he wants his team to play. It's then the players' jobs then to go onto the pitch to show the manager they've been listening and do the job the manager's asked them to do. Now, it's okay blaming the big man upstairs, but if a player doesn't try on the pitch, is that the manager's fault? No. Is that Levy's fault? No, it's the player's fault. It's like Dombele, great player in France. Come to us, we can't even get rid of him for 9 million. That is a player we should be cancelling contracts, by the way. I mean, he's got this mystery injury. God knows what. It's probably pulled his hamstring, eating too many kebabs or something. God knows. But I do feel everything that goes wrong, it's quick, blame Levy. It's Levy out, blame Levy. Where he's not on the pitch. He's not picking the players. For a kick here or kick there, we could have won the league twice, won the Champions League, won a couple of FA Cups and a League Cup, 2 League Cups. But we didn't because the players weren't good enough to do the job. Defenders weren't good enough. We didn't, but you can blame Levy. We didn't rebuild the side after them 3 windows. We didn't buy anyone. That was his fault for not backing Poch, for doing the rebuild. Then you can blame him also for sacking Mourinho 6 days for a cup final and not backing Conte. But also the players along that line have got away with murder, and they should also get the blame as well. They have to take responsibility. They down tools to get these managers to sack. Davis went to Levy. Nuno's no good. Get him out. Dyer's probably gone up to Levy. I want Ange out because I'm not getting the game here. Well, tough shit. Do you know you're not good enough? If the manager doesn't think you're good enough, then you move on. And that's the thing. So yeah, I only tell you how I feel. I mean, I just find it really head scratching when you got Spurs fans saying to social media, "We want Ange out." After what, 2 months? It's just unreal. Tequila says Ange is living in cuckoo land if he thought the team was going to win. That team was going to win. Maybe, maybe not. Smash the like button. Mia says, big up Mia, thank you. Only if Dermo breaks into song, Mia. Well, if I broke into song, I think I would break YouTube. I think everyone would just unsubscribe. I'd have no subscribers left. Kev Williams, our squad is average at best. There has to be a massive overhaul. I think the majority of the players last night are big at their level, needed for a top six club. Yeah, I think so. Tequila, thanks for earlier. I know you were trying to be fair, also sticking up for me in the chat. I appreciate. Yeah, and look, everyone, please do treat Mia when she does come on here or on our show with the respect. And the people that don't, just don't bother coming into her chat because she doesn't deserve that. She puts a lot of hard work into her shows and channel. I know she does, and like we all do. So yeah, just show her some respect when she's in here on our shows or on her own shows, please. So please do that for me. That would be very appreciative. The multi-channel big up should have never been 9 changes, way too much. Yeah, I think we're all sort of on that acceptance of it was a mistake. And I said it before, I'll give Ange 20% of last night. 80% the plays, 20% Ange, in my own opinion. Peter M. Lacelso was the senior player on the pitch last night. You were right. That was his moment to shine. And it was. And he didn't. And he got taken off after 45 minutes because he didn't care. He doesn't try. It's all right doing it in pre-season friendly where players are not at it 100%. You could be the best player in the world. But that was a cup game last night. It was a London derby. You give all in the London derby. Neil Shafton says Højbjerg missed the sitter. Yeah, he really did. I was shocked over that. No excuse for that miss. He may not be the best offensive player, but he had a big goal to shoot at and miss Ride White. He wasn't the only one. No, he really wasn't. He had some valid points, but he was he was too aggressive me from my long had taken. Big up Tequila. We've got Daniela Zito. Big up Daniela Zito. Hope you're all right. Says good afternoon, Dermot. I'm still so annoyed and gutted Ange got that start in 11 wrong. He made a massive mistake when changing 9 of the 11. Yeah, look, I think he will learn by that. I really do. All we can do is focus on the Prem for the next 4 months, and we have to play for the FA Cup and Prem. Yep, that's it. That's all we got this season. Is for Vicario a penalty specialist? Then, I think he is. I think he'd be better than Foster anyway. He'd be well better than Foster, mind you. A 2-year-old child be better than Foster. He would have saved more penalties last night than fucking that idiot did. Mia says Tequila, as you know, I'm open to opinions, but he was just doing okay. Touch, she's just talking to Tequila. We got Neil Shafton. We could have put a trash bin in the net and painted it and put a Cockerel badge on it, and chances are he would have saved it. He probably would have actually. Oh dear. Oh, really, dear. It was funny. We've got James, right, paratrooper. I think it was better to let the second team fail to let the first team fail and lose confidence for Burnley. Yeah, I look, they should have been good enough to win that last night. That second team, to be fair. Colin says, I'm calling I'm calling the goalkeeper union here. No keeper should get pulled after playing 90 minutes. If it goes to pen, that would destroy any confidence he has in his ability. Well, look, Chelsea did it. I think, was it 2-3 years ago? They tried to bring Kepa on for the Cooper on for Kepa, refused to come off. Look, it's done in Europe. I think it's done in Italy more and Spain more. where if you know your goalkeeper is going to be better than the one you got on there, I don't think he would have destroyed his confidence. But look, that's just my opinion, Colin. But look, you're a goalkeeper, so you know what you're talking about. Kev Williams, Dermotron, we're in one cup now. Let's go strong and win it. This may be a silver lining. Yeah, I think it will be. Lee Richards, Spurs and Holland, two teams who can never win games on pens. I think we haven't won a pen since the Anderlecht game. Do you know what? I actually think it is 40 years since we last won a penalty shootout. I think it is. Probably. I have to double check on that. I'll let you know tomorrow's stream, but I think it is 40 years. That's unreal. That's one hell of a stat. Spurs, that is one hell of 40 years since we last won a penalty shootout in any cup competition. Wow. Peter Ram, Poch finished fifth in his first season. If Ange finishes fifth or sixth, it will be been a good season. And don't forget, if we finish fifth, we could qualify for the Champions League. We won't know that. We won't win that. Know that before the end of the season. But fifth could get us Champions League. We've got here we've got James Paratrooper says, I think it was better to let I read that one. We've got Grandson. Yeah, the Richie goal was a big upside. Hope he can kick on from there. I hope so too. Tequila says Ange is probably happy now that we don't have a big fixture list this year, since he's only got 14 so players who are any good. Yeah, that's so true. Tequila says Levy's probably values Sanchez at 40 million, so I'm offering 10 million to Forest. Yeah, that's true. Neil Shafton says you can see the drop off and how poor our depth is. That wasn't Ange ball yesterday. It was exposed a scary reality. If one of our starters on defense gets injured, we're vulnerable, very, very vulnerable. And look, we have to see what happens. We may get a centre back or two in before the end of the window. I think so. And I think, as Carl told me earlier, I am going to double check this, but no offense to you, Carl, but Tasoba is still available. So we have to see Darian Sanchez and Tanganga out. Bring in Tapsoba is still available, or Hack Happy. Both of them I would love. I would love both of them at Tottenham. Carl says United against, yeah, it was the Southampton. It was a grey kit. That was it. Not the blue kit. It was a grey kit. They couldn't see each other and Fergie blamed the kit. That was just hilariously funny. Yes, it was United. It was grey and the players couldn't see each other. Maybe Anne should have used that at the press conference last night. Look, it was the kit's fault. We couldn't see each other. It was the grey kit blending in with the crowd. Yeah, that's fine. Here's Colin, the United fan. United started the game in the grey kit. They said the players could see each other on the pitch and blended in with the crowd, so they changed them at halftime. Did they change it to the blue kit, the third kit at the time? Colin, let us know. The kit looks like a U.S. Army physical training uniform. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. Don't buy the Levy club deprioritizing the cup thing at all. Ange messed up selecting the players that he did. That's it. Look, I don't. I think they want to win every cup they're in, but as I said last night, this falls on Ange and the players. 80% to players, 20% to Ange, and that's my opinion on it. Neil Shaft and Carl, they need to get rid of 7 players before they can bring in one. Sadly, we need goals. And it looks like they're focusing on that now. January, we should see if we can upgrade the defense. Yeah, maybe. He had an allergic reaction to the new sandwich sauce on that on the big tasty tequila. You're so funny. I wish I could have some tequila now. That would go down nice after last night's performance. We've got Peter M saying Don Bele is a case of traineritis, a condition where a player doesn't train hard enough. Yeah, you can say that again. And how the hell he's still the highest? He's 200 grand a week. It's unreal. It really is unreal. Lee Richards, LOL, yes, that pink kit was terrible, but we can't blame that. I am. What we could have played naked last night, LOL, and still would have won. Half the players that started just don't look interested. And that's the point. Everyone's blaming everyone else, where they should be blaming them players that didn't turn up. And I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. The players have to take responsibility for their actions. So does Levy, so does Ange. But the players last night, 80% of that game was on them. Pardon me. We've got Neil Shafton. I would like to see a valid report on that, on what players had a chance to move on and declined the offer. I really would like to know who blocked a move to another club. I think Sanchez is one. Eric Dyer, I'm hearing, is another one who doesn't want to move. He wants to move on the free. We'll just pay him up his contract and um, get him gone. And I think Don Belle's another one. He keeps refusing to go everywhere. Why would you want to go if you're getting 200 grand a week? And if you go move somewhere, you're only going to get 60 or 70 grand a week. No wonder these players don't want to move, because we put them on big money. We've made them too comfortable where they shouldn't be too comfortable. Edward Wire of yours didn't the same side test Barcelona. Do you know what? I think it was. I think that was the same side that did. I'm not sure. Um, I'll have to double check on that, but I think it was. We have Carl Simpson. It's simply with all these players, tell them they won't be registered. So it's either go or not be able to play to January. And I think that's what's going to happen. Tequila says, I think we've given players like Sell Sword more than enough chance this time to get going. Gio, yeah, he was useless last night. What's the story with Veltz? I will ask the question and I will get back to you on that one. Val Taylor, good afternoon, all. The point trying to be made is that Levy is interested only in Champions League qualification and has put the manager in the brief to pick B teams for the cup. That is the worry. Look, I look to get in. Look, I understand every team wants to get into the Champions League, and we all want to get in there, and that brings the bigger money in. That brings then bigger budgets to buy better players. But I don't think Ange is like that. I've seen a lot of Ange up in Scotland at Celtic, and he's not that type of manager. He takes every game he goes into, any cup competition, seriously. He would have been severely pissed off last night and very angry going out that competition at the first stage. He would have been absolutely fuming. So I really do think that I don't think that it's. I hope it's not the point, and I hope it's not true. Maybe for previous managers, probably that was the situation, but I don't think it's like that for Ange. I'd be very surprised if it was. But big up Val, thanks for coming in. Carl says we would have won the game with what Madison on at halftime for Gio. It didn't understand the Scarlet move. Forgot he was even on until the 80th minute. Yeah, he was very quiet. Hug God 10 says, good afternoon, Dermot and chat. Very disappointed with Ange and the result last night. Didn't see the game, only the highlights. I only saw the highlights as well. I saw 15 minutes highlights. But what I saw just gave me enough to know that we weren't good enough last night. So can comment on the individual plays, but didn't see this coming. No, I didn't either. Didn't we win a penalty shootout against Chelsea? Yeah, we did under Mourinho. The year we got to the final, I think it's against Man City we did. So yeah, 2 years ago, yeah, we did. Would bite your hand off for sixth place. I'd bite my hand off for fifth place. Yeah, we did, Mia. I forgot about that one. Yeah. And then we beat Wolves on penalty. I'm trying to think, was that before or after Chelsea? Okay, so we've won a couple of penalty shootouts since 1984. So, okay. I got that bit wrong. So thanks for putting me right. I love the chat when I get things wrong. They always put me right. Does anyone know if Mickey van der Ven is okay? He looked like his hamstring or quad was giving him some trouble. I will look into that, Neil, and get back to you for tomorrow's show for the build-up show. Peter M. The Dutch did it in the World Cup in Brazil, bringing on Tim Curl, who saved against Costa Rica and got Holland through to the semi-finals. Yeah, they did it a few times, I think, Holland, during that tournament. Dermot, may I ask if you think we're going to get any more signings in and who? Well, for that then, Danielle, I will go through what I've been told today. Tottenham Hotspur want to sign both Azana Fati and Brennan Johnson before the transfer window deadline. So them two look like they're going to get them through. A loan or an obligation to discuss this between Spurs and Barcelona as part of the season-long deal for Fata. I think that will go through. I think he will be a Spurs player. So there's another two coming through. Everton have offered a however, have had an offer on the table for Tottenham Hotspur defender Tantanga before Friday's transfer summer window deadline. However, it's reported that he's made a move to Italy his priority. Now, if I'm reading this right, I think Tantanga's move to Italy has actually collapsed. I'm not sure. I have read somewhere that it may have collapsed. I'm not sure if that or if that's Dombele. One of the two, but I know one of the two, the moves have collapsed. United have been offered the chance to open talks over Højbjerg, who Tottenham are willing to sell before Friday's transfer deadline. And then Dortmund are joining Bayern Munich, who I can't believe want Eric Dyer. I'm still scratching my head. When somebody told me that yesterday, I thought it was April Fool's. Seriously, I said to be entering a formal proposal for Eric Dyer, so please get rid of him before the start of the season, for the end of the transfer window. Get rid of him. So that is the latest news I have. Any other breaking news, of course, we will bring it to you first. We've got Fate is a little more complex. It's possible, but not likely. For what I'm hearing, it could be done. Lee Crawford, Daniel Lee, you're quite correct. My mistake. Spurs beat Chelsea 5-4 in 2020. Yeah, they did. Carl Simpson, Tequila, Fatty had to leave Dermot's team on it as his reckless tackling kept getting him sent off. Yeah, he did. He really did. That series will be coming back again in the next couple of days. So don't worry, you get more of Carl Pogba before you're coming on and at halftime. See, we're at the League Cup now. Yeah, so we're not doing too well. We're not doing too well. We will win the FA Cup. I think both collapsed. It could be wrong though. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Don't blame Jaffet. The food's better in Italy than Merseyside. Yeah, why would you want to go to Everton anyway? Honest to God, they're on the verge of going down. So why would you want to go down? Tequila, after last night's performance, yes, 9 changes. Faz says, if we don't get quality centre back and a fullback understudies, we'll be in trouble if these positions are injured together. The thing is, we're never going to get everything done under one window. Never going to get it all. So you have to prioritize where you want. And that really has been, I think, for the last few days of the window, a striker and a centre back. And I think you've got Perisic, who can play there. Davies, who can play, didn't play well last night, can play on the left side of the defence in the 3 or in the left back role. But I think you've got to prioritize centre back and the striker. I think we've got to. There are the two chances we have. It's all good. My Doncaster Rovers will send everything out tonight. Well, I hope they do, Colin. I hope they do. That would be great. See little Doncaster Rovers. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to announce this now. As from Friday, THFC as a channel, myself and Philip, will be joining the Full-Time Sports Network in a partnership where we will be their Tottenham arm of their channel. As from Friday, every stream for the end of this week to next, or from going forward, will be streamed here on THFC Till I Die as normal, and they will be streamed live also on Full-Time Sports Network. So I'm really excited by this partnership coming up. We're speaking to Colin behind the scenes about it, so really, really excited by it, and I know Philip is as well. And we'll try to get more people in from other teams, and when we do a Premier League reviews and something like that. So yeah, so we have to so big things coming for the channel in the next couple of months, but really pleased to announce that partnership between ourselves and the Full-Time Sports Network. As from Friday, we will be doing a joint stream on both networks now. So keep that, get over there. Give us our partner channel a like, but also if you are over there, come over here and give us a like as well. Let's see, can we get to 2K, and let's see, can we grow, because that is what we all want. So as from this Friday, we are now going into a partnership with Full-Time Sports Network, and I'm really looking forward to this. So big up Colin and the guys over there, and thank you so much for bringing us in, and we look forward to our working relationship Moving forward, we've got Lily White Lane. Big up, Dermot. Big up, Lily White Lane. Look, there's 71 of you in the chat watching me. There's only 31 likes. Come on. Let's see, can we get 50 likes before the end of this stream? Which is, 40 likes. Come on, let's get up to 40 likes. We've got Carl Simpson. Kane looked like a right plank. The only thing missing was his streak of strangers. I think Carl's got a thing against Harry Kane now. Neil Shafton, Rotherham, up the Millers. Yeah, big up there. Joe says we were told 2 centre backs by in the nose like Ali Gold and others, so need one more centre back into. Yeah, I do agree with that. Will McDonald, I'm not surprised by some of the comments coming from some so-called supporters. Ange has had 4 competitive games now, and we've had some. If the dim-witted fans are calling for his head, I think it's ridiculous. I'm just really pleased Philip Brady's actually away on holiday, because I think he would have blew his top by now. But all of this stuff, so I'm actually really glad he is. I'm really glad he's away on holiday. Actually, so big up if you are watching by any chance. Um, please give us a thumbs up, Philip Brady. Let us know you are missed, and I'll also be glad to get my partner back. That means you don't have to listen so much to me. You can listen to him. Carl Simpson, Colin's been working on his own transfer. Yeah, this has been. I'll tell you one thing, Carl. This was dodgy at times. It nearly collapsed a few times, but the right M&Ms for Philip what got it through. We got the proper colour M&Ms for him, so he was happy. Once that was sorted out, it was all plain sailing after that. Peter Remy says, great news, Dermot. More power to the channel. Thank you so much, Peter. I'm very kind of you. Column's having a little giggle to himself, sitting in the corner with big eyes, thinking, is that a squirrel over there? Probably is, and it's probably me. Joe says, it's all gone quiet at the centre-back front. Do you think we'll get another one in? I do. I do think we will. I tell you, Friday's going to be so good. So looking forward to transfer. I always love transfer deadline night. Always do. So look, I think we will. Mia, thank you so much. And don't forget, Mia's on at 5:00. Keep smashing that like button. So I'm going to finish off soon. So I'm off before she can go on as well. Carl Simpson, but Ten Hag has vetoed it. No, Ten Hag has not vetoed it. So we have to see what's happened to Wilton McDonald. He has now exposed these players who are hanging around for a paycheck. Yep, that is so true. Daniel Lee, any win against Chelsea is a good memory. Yeah. There's go to sub to column. Yeah, go sub to our partner channel now. Full Time Sports Network. Please, everyone get over there and please show a like over there, because it is a great channel, and I'm so looking forward to our working relationship. We've got Wilt McDonald. Good afternoon, Dermot. If Full-Time Sports Networks need some NHL updating, it's my first love, LA Kings support, but a National Hockey League fan. Oh yeah, Colin said, message me. Me and Philip are going to do some Rugby World Cup watch-alongs for the Rugby World Cup, and we're also, as from Monday, this channel goes into Ireland mode as we build up to 2 massive games for our country in the European Championship qualifier. France on the Friday in France, and then a game I'm going to then on the Sunday, we're home to Holland. So keep your fingers crossed. James Y. Paratrooper, Dermot, I love your trumpet. Keep that going. It's hilarious. I will do. I have to wait till Philip's back for that. Tequila, got to remember when we were told 2 centre backs in the summer, we were playing with 3 centre backs. So I think they just wanted to get someone decent to play with Romero, which they're supposed to have. Yeah, I think they have. Also, here's 5 link to. Also, I'm live at 5. Yeah, well, I'm getting off now, Mia, so don't worry. I'm going to let you go on there. Peter M says, yeah, it's worrying that we've only had 1 new centre back. I think we will get another one in. Carl says, Colin has taken our star THFC Till I Die and give us a bird watching weekly as part of the exchange. Yeah, how did you know, Carl? You're a part of the talks as well. Mark News says, Sanchez was poor over 90 minutes, but big respect for him for stepping up as a defender to take the pen. That's what I said, Mark. Where were the experienced midfielders like Højbjerg who didn't take one? Call his THFC Till I Die. Yeah, they were too busy with their knees trembling them in the centre circle and didn't have the guts to go up and take a penalty. It's ridiculous. Leslie Crawford, Tucson deal not looking good. Apparently, we're miles off even personal terms. He still wants he wants to go to Monaco. He doesn't want to come to us. But look, we'll have to see what happens. Do you know that Burnley game is not being televised? No, it's not. I have to go and find a link for that game on Saturday. But yeah, hopefully we will get something. And if we do get a link, we'll let the members know. So, or even come on and join us for that watch long against Burnley on Saturday. Lee Richards, apparently Tosson doesn't like Spurs. Leslie, no chance we're coming here. No. And Kev Williams says, Dermot, if you ever travel over by ferry to Anglesey, you need to get in touch for a beer. Kev, if I ever do, I will get over there. You guarantee. And listen, you ever come down to Tottenham, and I'm there too, but we'll grab a beer as well. That'd be, I love that. Good up, Kev Williams. We've got Tequila says, I want to go to Monaco. Sign me up. I bet you do, Tequila. Is it? What would you want to do in Monaco? Let me know. Jack Williams, Mia's brother. Big up, Derma. Hope you're good, mate. Big up, Jack. I hope you're better. Jack, get in touch with me or get in touch with Mia. I want to get you on for the transfer deadline day show. So can you give Mia your contact details? Because I do want to get hold of you for that. There. Neil Shafton, Burnley has American ownership. Yeah, it does. And I tell you what I found out the other day, which I was shocked over, right? Sheffield United are Saudi owned. You wouldn't believe Sheffield United have got a Saudi owner. I don't know. We've got Leslie Crawford, Lee Richards. Tucson wants to start games, doesn't want to be back up. He will have a better chance at Monaco, probably. We've got Robert Ingram. Google buff streams. You'll get us game there. Big up, Robert. I will do that. Carl Simpson says Monaco cannot even get anywhere near Tucson's asking price. I know. And then we've got and Tequila says, shut up the posh birds, obviously. Well, I'm actually marrying a posh bird. My other half's from the posh side of Dublin. So she doesn't. Yeah, she's from Killiney, which is the posh side of Dublin. And she doesn't like Edward. No, but she's a posh bird. So I'm quite happy. But I'm quite happy with my posh bird. Very, very happy indeed. Kev Williams, can't wait for the transfer deadline day show. Is the feel good factor. I love doing them. I think they're great crack. I think they're really a great crack to do. We've always had fun doing them. So we'll throw a bit of fun into it as well, I think, during the evening. Aren't there a team called Holyhead Hotspur up there, Kevin? Probably. Carl Simpson says, I love it when the Carl, this isn't the show for that. Also, Mia's not on the channel either. So we'll find out. Jack says, yeah, we'll do it, sort out. Big up, Jack. Great. See ya. Leslie said, is it true we had no foreign owners in the Premier League start? Yeah, it is true. When the Premier League started, no club was under foreign ownership. It really is. And Jack says, hope you offer the transfer. This is Mia's reaction. Jack Williams, I ain't your secretary. But anyway, please look. I didn't even get through the stats of the game. The chat's been massive. But listen, we are going to leave it there. Mia, of course, is actually live in 1 minute. Let's go. But I can't think of any foreign owners in 1993. I guess the Premier League product attracted foreign money. It did. I'm live in 1 minute, so I'm going to bugger off. Everyone, go over to Mia, whatever you do. But I am back tomorrow at 4:00. Hopefully, Philip might join me then. But as we always do, hang on. I just got to do this quickly. Where is it now? Here we go. In America, and see this man here. He will give you mugshots free. Buy one, get one free from Mr. Donald Trump. Thank you. Right, on that bombshell, let me turn off that anthem. There you go. On that bombshell, have a lovely rest of your day. Come on, you Spurs, and the big Ange we trust.